Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of our show. I'm Ava.
And I'm Eva. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today.
In today's episode, we have Spears Williams in the studio. He's here to discuss the infidelity and complexities within his marriage.
Thank you, Spears, for joining us. Kindly share your story with us.
Hello, Ava and Eva. Thanks for having me on your talk show. My name is Spears. My journey with Liza started beautifully 8 years ago. We met when she came into the bank I worked at. She needed help with her bank account, and from the moment our eyes met, it felt like love at first sight. We hit it off immediately, dated for 2 years, moved in together, and then celebrated our union with a beach summer wedding surrounded by friends and family. Initially, we postponed having kids to focus on our careers, so Liza was on birth control for some years. Then 2 years ago, we felt ready to start trying. But luck hasn't been on our side. But here's where things turned sour. Some months back, I returned home late from a business trip and found Liza asleep on the sofa in our living room. Her phone, which was on the side table, kept flashing with an incoming call. Curiosity got the best of me. I picked it up, planning to tell the caller she was asleep. But then, the phone stopped, and a text popped up. The first line froze me in place. Couldn't see more. Phone was locked. Driven by a sudden urge, I held her phone to her face to unlock it using facial recognition. What I discovered in her messages shocked me. I wish I hadn't. The texts were from someone saved as delivery guy, and they were explicit, to put it mildly. I dug through every message, my heart sinking with each word. By the end, I was convinced she was having an affair. I didn't wake her. Heartbroken, I spent the night in agony, lying in our bed while Liza remained asleep on the sofa, oblivious to the storm inside me. The next morning, I acted as if nothing happened. I told her I was just tired and went straight to bed last night. But inside, I was crumbling. I couldn't even hold down breakfast. At work, my mind raced with plans to catch her in the act. I needed solid evidence, so I reached out to an old friend who had become a private investigator. After a discreet meeting, I hired him to track Liza and learn more about the delivery guy. My days were spent maintaining a facade of normalcy, but each moment was a struggle. As days passed, I wrestled with my suspicions and sorrow, opting not to confront her until I had undeniable proof. Despite her loving demeanor, my gut told me something was off. The investigator eventually got back to me with damning evidence, photos and detailed reports of Liza's meetings with a man, confirming the ongoing affair. It was clear, Liza was not just meeting him randomly. Their affair was real. Armed with this, I decided it was time to confront her. I planned a weekend getaway under the pretense of rekindling our romance. During a dinner on the beach, mirroring our wedding setting, I finally voiced my suspicions. "There's something on my mind," I began, trying to keep my voice steady. "It's about trust and honesty in our marriage." Liza looked puzzled, then concerned. When I presented the photographs, her face went pale. Photographs were damning, and she couldn't deny them. "I can explain," she started, but I cut her off, needing to understand the full extent of her betrayal. Her explanation was a mix of apologies and shocking admissions. She confessed that she sought attention and validation, and wanted to see if she was truly barren by trying to get pregnant with another man. It was supposed to be a one-time thing, but she got carried away because he was good in bed. Can you imagine my wife telling me another man was better than me? She then swore on her child's life that it had only happened a few times. Froze. "What child's life?" I asked, and she said she was pregnant. I sat there, stunned, head spinning. "So you cheated to see if you could get pregnant by another man, and now you are? Does that mean I'm not man enough?" I asked, bewildered. She admitted in a low tone that she didn't know who the father was. So she risked our marriage and my health, having unprotected sex with him, potentially exposing us to infection. All she could mutter was, "I'm sorry." "Sorry?" I screamed. "Will your sorry fix this or turn back time? How could you do this to us?" I acknowledge my past mistakes, but they don't compare to what she has done. I recall a time when I went out for drinks with a female coworker after work. We got a little intoxicated, and I nearly had an emotional affair with the coworker. But as soon as I realized it was crossing a line, I stopped it and confessed it to Lisa, and today that coworker no longer works in my department. My wife forgave me and moved on. She wasn't my first love. She's been there for me through every high and low. Every sweet moment I've experienced has been with her. I wouldn't be the man I am today without her. But what she's done is beyond forgiveness. She's pregnant, and the baby might not be mine. How do I get over this? How do I live with this? How do I unsee or unknow this? Seems impossible. How many times? I demanded. Twice, thrice, 4 or 5 times? He was silent. How many times did you sleep with him? I screamed again. She started crying and said, I don't know. I stood up from the dinner table and walked away, tears blinding me as I headed towards our room at the resort. Where did I go wrong? I kept asking myself. Packed my suitcase, went to the reception, booked a taxi, and left for home, leaving my wife at the resort. Once home, I gathered my belongings in the spare room that was meant to be the nursery. I left a note for Liza on the fridge, saying I would be back in a few days to collect the rest of my things. With one suitcase, I checked into a nearby hotel and cried the entire night. I had experienced heartbreaks before, but nothing compared to this. The next morning, I called in sick at work and stayed in bed at the hotel. Later, I contacted a realtor and eventually found an apartment. Liza tried to reach me multiple times through calls, messages, and emails, but I didn't respond. I moved my remaining belongings from the house to my new apartment on a weekday, knowing she wouldn't be home. 3 months later, I officially filed for divorce, and the process is still ongoing. A few days ago, I heard she gave birth to a baby. Initially, it didn't concern me until I learned the baby is mixed race, which was surprising since Liza is white. A DNA test confirmed the baby is mine. I felt relieved, knowing the baby wasn't a result of an affair, but now I face the challenge of sharing a child with my soon-to-be ex-wife. I'm unsure how to handle this situation. Sorry for rambling, Ava and Eva. Any advice or opinions would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Spears, thank you for sharing your story with us. The situation you're in is undeniably painful and complex, but we want to congratulate you on the birth of your baby boy. After years of trying for a child, we are genuinely happy for you.
We also wish the circumstances were different, but it is what it is. Congratulations to you and Liza once again on your baby boy.
Thank you so much, Ava and Eva. I'm so happy to be a dad.
As you requested, we have some advice to share with you. We hope these tips will help you navigate this challenging time in your life. 1. Given the complexities of your situation, especially with your baby now involved, consulting your attorney again would be wise. Your lawyer can guide you on the best course of action regarding paternity issues, especially since your divorce proceedings are not yet over. 2. You need to understand all your rights and responsibilities as a father. You also have to discuss how you will manage your parenting responsibilities with Liza. Since you have a child together, it's important to establish a co-parenting plan. If direct communication with Liza is challenging, a mediator or family therapist can assist in creating a fair and workable plan. The mediator can also set clear boundaries and communication rules to help prevent further conflicts and misunderstandings between both parents. This will help ensure that your child's needs are met and that both parents can be involved in his life. And 3. Regardless of your marital issues with Liza, your child needs both parents. Try to separate whatever feelings you have about your soon-to-be ex-wife from your role as a father. Your child's welfare must be a priority, and nurturing a healthy relationship with her can also be healing for you. Consider that for the well-being of your child, a stable and loving environment is crucial for his development. Think about how your decisions will affect him before you make them. 4. Plan for the future. Once you've finalized your divorce, you should start thinking about your long-term future, and that should include your baby and his welfare. It is most likely that Liza will have custody of your baby for now, considering his age, and you will be required to pay child support. So, start planning for a future that includes your son's well-being.
I would also add that you need to reflect on what you have learned from this experience with Liza. Even though this should be our first piece of advice for you today, we are making it last because it will be in two parts. First, before you make any rational decisions about the future, it's essential to manage your emotional health. Forgiveness may seem impossible now, but it is more about freeing yourself from ongoing anger and resentment towards Liza than condoning what happened. This doesn't mean you have to reconcile and get back with her, but finding a way to forgive her can be a pathway to having peace in your life. Second, before making any more important decisions, you should take time to reflect on the events that led to the current situation and what future scenarios might look like. It's important to distinguish between love, dependency, and a desire for the familiarity of the relationship. If you still love Liza and are considering the possibility of reconciliation, then initiate an honest conversation with her. This dialogue should cover her betrayal, its impact, and what each of you can realistically offer each other moving forward. It's crucial to express feelings openly and see if Liza is equally interested in mending the relationship. If both parties are open to it, couples counseling can be incredibly beneficial. A professional can help navigate the complex feelings and actions surrounding the affair and your baby, helping both parties understand their feelings, communicate more effectively, and decide if the relationship can be salvaged and rebuilt on new terms. But know that rebuilding trust is a gradual and challenging journey that demands consistent effort from both partners. Liza will need to be fully transparent about her actions and intentions moving forward, and Spears, you will need to reflect on whether you can genuinely forgive her and what steps are necessary to slowly rebuild the trust. Ultimately, your decision should be guided by what feels right for you and your circumstances. Take your time, seek support, and make a choice that aligns with your values and well-being.
That brings us to the end of our show today. Thank you very much, Spears, for sharing your story with us. I'm sure our viewers learned a lot today.
Thank you so much, Ava and Eva. I'm really glad I came here today. Your advice has been incredibly helpful. Much appreciated.
Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. This is Stories of Our Lives by Esta. See you in the next video. Bye for now.
Goodbye.